This is Straight Talk with it. I love you, Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and his sidekick, Shanan Jones. Frank discussions of issues affecting the ATL, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, the nation, and around the world. And now, here they are, live and in living color, the team of Jones and Fann, the Preacher Man.
The Straight Talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and Shanan E. Jones. Well, good evening now, Rick. Bye-bye. What's going on?
Good evening, Bishop. How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. How's things going on in your world, Shannon?
Oh, man, everything's going well for me. Heck, when I went to the White House, they didn't throw me out, so everything went well for me.
That's because you didn't go to the White House. You went to the White House. You the one that packed up my stuff the last time. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. We don't want him in here. We don't want him in here. You worse than the press. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
Goodness gracious.
They get Associated Press. Get him out. Get him out. They can't come again here no more.
You can't come back no more.
No more. Hit the road, Jack.
The fourth estate. You're picking the fourth estate out. What is happening? Bishop, what's going on? Ever in your history have you seen anything like this?
Man, never seen anything like freedom of press. Our house, you kicking me out of our house. We pay the taxes for this house, and you kicking us out of our own house. Ain't that something? That's like, man, that's something else. I mean, really. We have a lot to unpack tonight on Straight Talk. And we want to thank those of you who are viewing us and watching us each and every week. Thank you for your comments. Getting a lot of comments. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for your comments. Thank you, Renee Wells, for your comment. Thank all of you for your comment. I won't be able to tell everybody who has sent in comments, but thank you guys for your comment. We keep those comments coming. Keep them rolling. I know what you do is you don't do it on the program, but what you'll do, you'll text me, and that's good too, because it's better because I'll see it on the text versus in the chat, because we don't go back and really review the chat. So, just call me 443080795. I'll get it on my every week, 3080795, and you can text me with your comments, okay? All right, and we'll make sure that we'll add you to that list of comments. Shannon, before we go to Miss C, Shannon, a couple of things I want to talk to you about. The boycott started today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the boycott started today, and I'm tell you what we did today. Didn't buy no gas, didn't buy no groceries, didn't go to no restaurants, didn't spend a dime today in any business. Not one business did I spend a dime today. Now, some of those businesses wasn't on the list, but they asked us not to spend money at all today unless it was absolutely necessary. And you know what? I was able to save $10 by not spending any money today. I was able to keep $10 in my pocket.
Yeah. I know you did.
Yeah, man.
I know you did.
But we're going to talk more about that on the other side.
I was able to save some myself.
But we'll talk more about that on the other side of the Mississippi, about the boycott and what's going on with our new president, unelected, Elon Musk.
President Musk.
Yeah, we must talk about President Musk, okay?
And we must talk about Trump and Zelensky.
We'll talk about the under president and the real president, Elon Musk. How about that? We'll be back on the other side. We'll be back on the other side with Shannon and myself. We appreciate you guys for all the comments and everything you say when we see you out and you telling us how much you enjoy what we're doing. We've been doing this for the last 8 years. People just catching on to Straight Talk. And you share it with your neighbors, share it with your friend. Like us, subscribe, make comments, and share. Or you can email straighttalknews1362@gmail.com. That's straighttalknews1362@gmail.com. And Miss C will get all your information on her segment of the program. Well, we'll see you on the other side after Miss C. Miss C. Where are you, Miss C? Oh, there she is. She's coming. And Shannon, she got something to say to you. Bye.
Hi, Miss C here with your 3-minute news blast, or more or less. Listen, come celebrate with New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist at the 43rd Pastoral Appreciation of Pastor Thomas G. Ashford, Sunday, March 9th at 3 p.m. The guest speaker will be Pastor Gerard Johnson of Union Baptist Church. New Jerusalem is located at 1385 Gus Thornhill Jr. Drive in East Point. Greater Zion Hill Baptist at 2010 Village Parkway in Smyrna, Georgia, welcomes you Sunday, March 2nd at 10:15 a.m. as they welcome their new pastor-elect, Ernest Stallings, and Lady Jaquella Stallings. Flipper Temple AME Church presents a night of worship featuring gospel recording artist Kiera Sheard Kelly. It's going to be March 28th, 6 p.m. in the King Chapel on the Morehouse College campus. Get more details by logging on to the church's website at www.flippertempleame.com. And listen, before we leave, I have 4 things I'd like for you to do for me. I'd like for you to, like us, subscribe to us. Leave comments. Let us know how we're doing. And number 4, I'd like for you to share us. Don't keep Straight Talk News to yourself. There are a lot of things you can keep to yourself, but don't keep Straight Talk News to yourself. You'll be glad you did. Tell all your friends about it. Tell them where they can find us on YouTube, okay? And listen, you know, we're living in a world of uncertainty, but one thing you know for sure is that God is a sure thing, okay? And in the meantime and in between time, may the Lord God bless you real good. Bye now.
Well, we're back. We're back after Miss C. Listen, pay attention to all the announcements that were made by Miss C. Reverend Ashford's 43rd year anniversary, and also the concert that's going to be held at Flipper Temple. And congratulations to the pastor of the new Greater Church in Smyrna, Georgia. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Amen.
And so Shanan, let's get to talking straight talk today. We won't do number talking, showing up real straight talk today. And Shanan, I know that you know. I know that you know, Shanan. I know that you know what you know.
Sure enough.
That you know, Shanan, that things are happening today that we never thought we'd see before. And we see the thing that's happening in our nation capital in the Oval Office of the President of the United States, the President of these here United States, that was elected, the elected President of the United States. But now we see that there really is an unelected, people didn't vote for a President of the United States, who is really the President of the United States, Elon Musk. Have his son running around the Oval Office and
telling the elected president he ain't president.
Yeah, and I mean really, and standing up over the president and doing all the talking, and the elected president is just sitting there looking like a deer in the headlights, and then goes into a cabinet meeting. He's not even a real true employee of they keep saying he's not, but yet he is. I don't understand the is and is not part of him being an employee, not an employee, overdose.
I can help you with that.
Please
help
my
me. Turn.
No, help you.
When
you
is
can
my
help.
turn? Go ahead.
You can help me now because I don't understand. And I know a lot of people don't understand that this man can go into a cabinet meeting and be not a cabinet member, but be in a cabinet meeting and take over the meeting, and the elected president says to his staffers, say to his department head, if you don't like what Elon is doing, you can leave the room now. I mean, I don't get it. Help me to understand what I don't understand, please.
Okay, let me help you.
Help me out.
Let me help you like this. First of all, the president of the United States, the elected president of the United States, Donald Trump, has such little regard for the presidency, such little regard for the country, such little regard for the discipline of what it takes to actually govern, the information that you have to have, the attention span. He doesn't have it. So everything is a deal. Let's do a deal here and a deal there, and you get a deal and you get a deal. So then you get this bucket list billionaire who comes to you and he has $400,000 million. He's the richest man in the history of mankind. Okay, he has $400 billion and some, like 450 something $1 billion. And one of his bucket list things was to do what he's doing with Doge, which also happens to be the name of his crypto coin, DOGE too. So he comes to the president and said, "Look, I can do business with you. You do a little bit of this, that, and the other. You know, some of the family members that were in the Oval Office 8 years ago, you don't see them now because they're busy. I believe uh, working on that new Elon Musk financing that's come into the Trump organization. So this bucket list billionaire says, I want to have an opportunity to come in and run parts of the government that is not even a senatorial confirmed department. And it's going to go into, and I'm going to go into every department in the federal government. And I'm going to cut so that we can cut, and save money. Would you allow me to do that? That would be a bucket list thing for me to do. I mean, if you would allow me to do that, and bucket list billionaires, they have these things. They do it. Like they say, we're going to go into outer space for 11 minutes and come back. That's what a bucket. So, no, Elon Musk is not an employee in the sense that he gets paid. He's actually paying the Trump organization to do what it is that he's doing. So, no, he's not being paid. He's paying to be able to do what you see him do, and that is ultimately to gut the government, destroy it. Did you see, Bishop, that China and Russia are offering and targeting with employment and contracts many of the workers? I don't want to say all, but according to press reports today, many of the workers that were federal government employees, and they specifically want those with high level security clearances to come and be consultants for Russian companies and for Chinese backed companies. And they'll probably pay these. I mean, if they were making, a couple million, I mean, if they were making a couple $100,000 or 50 or 170,000, they'll pay them probably $1 million a year to be able to come and do it. And who sent these people to that employment agency? Who sent these people to the China and Russia employment agency? Doge. So while they're playing games, as Zelensky told the president today, I'm not playing games. I'm very serious, Mr. President. While this president, this elected president, and this non-elected president are playing games, Bishop, they are really threatening the national security and the international security of this country.
I thank you for the analysis of that paralysis. It is a paralysis. I mean, it's just you know what I call it? Pay to play. It's pay to play.
Yeah.
It's pay to play. It's pay to play. And so you're paying to play. You're paying to play. So now what you're doing is you're now saying to those people, if they're not loyal to the country, because the country hasn't been loyal to them, by firing them or allowing him to fire them or replace them, whichever way you want to call it, now they don't have the loyalty to the United States. They're going to be looking at, oh, you offer me $1 million a year to come and just be a consultant for you and let you know what the United States internal business is, just to be able to work for the countries that have not been very favorable to us, Russia for one, and then China, who is making plenty of money off of us, right? I mean, so, but you're going to pay to play? And all of this is pay to play. And we're creating enemies within and without with this government. Within and without with this government. So, it started off as being, this whole thing with this maggot thing started off being, it was a racial thing, really. White superiority over the rest of us, right? So, but now it's not, it's moved away from that. Now it's moved away to and it always has been about the money. It always has been about the money, and people have been used as pawns so that they can continue to be wealthy and continue to get rich. When you have them voting not to tax billionaires, but put more tax burden. I'm talking about the maggots, we call them Republicans, but they're maggots. The maggots, I call them maggots. The maggots of their voting that do these things to poor people, but not put taxes on billionaires and millionaires, not to tax them, but so much. But they're the one with the money. A person that's making, I'll just say $70,000-$80,000 a year. I'm gonna throw it up on that end, right? You're taxing them, but they got high mortgage, high car notes, kids in school, and all those other things. They ain't eating caviar. They don't have yachts. They don't have 2 or 3 homes, villas and all that. They're just trying to take care of that one home or residence where their family live in, right? So, but we have these individuals who are up there voting. No, you don't have to pay taxes, but I do, you do, and so many others do, right? And then you want to cut out programs that's going to benefit the least, the lost, and the left out. You're going to cut those programs out. So now you got more disharmony in with the people of the country, because you got people saying, we paid into this Social Security, now you want to take it away. Now let me show you another bigger trick here. They said they were voting on what Trump promised, that he was going to not tax overtime, that he was not going to tax tips, and that he was not going to tax Social Security. Well, one is, on one hand, you say you're not going to tax it, but the other hand, you want to do away with it. So you won't have it to tax. How are you going to get tips when people ain't spending money for you to be tipped, right? There will be no overtime, because there will be no jobs for a need for overtime. So all of those things that that you promise, and on one hand you give it, and on the other hand you take it away. So people have to open their eyes to see what's really, really going on, and what's really being played out. It's really all about the wealthy, the rich getting richer, and the poor getting poorer, and the programs that benefit poor people or people that are marginalized, those programs are being gutted out, and people are being suffering. And when you start, all those people who voted for this regime, I'm calling it a regime because of what it is, this regime, voted for this regime, now they're suffering because they did not pay attention to Project 2025. They didn't pay attention. When people were saying, oh, they ain't going to do that. Oh, they ain't going to do that. They're not going to do that. No, that ain't going to happen. People just talking. Well, he said from day one, he said, when I become president day one, I will become a dictator. And he has proven to be just that, along with the real president, Elon Musk. So with that being said, Shanan, I'm going to yield the floor because I know you got more you want to say.
Bishop, how long did we spend unpacking Project 2025?
Oh, man.
Sending it around to everybody, letting everybody know, even when Trump said, I'm not, it's foolishness. I wouldn't do any of that. In other words, he was trying to throw you off the set. And then turned around, came in, and from day one, everything that Project 2025 said he would do, firing CIA agents. Who would do that? How do you come in and offer out buyout packages to the Central Intelligence Agency? The last people you want to give buyouts to and be sending away are the people that know all of your secrets. Get rid of the IGs. We don't need any oversight. We need to put our people in. What do you mean, our people? Who are our people? Well, a question was asked at the cabinet meeting. And the question was this, Bishop. Will the cabinet, will they do anything you tell them to do? And the president said, yes, they will do whatever I ask them to do. He didn't say, we have shared agreement. He didn't say, I respect the intelligence of the men and women of this cabinet, and there'll be broad debate, But ultimately, as commander in chief, I have the final say. He didn't even say what George W. Bush said. I am the decider. He said they will do whatever I tell them to do. And I think that he's got a little button that pushes for Diet Coke and another button he pushes so that all of his Manchurian candidate cabinet members can hear this word. Remember Mike Pence. Remember Mike Pence. Beware of the Ides of January the 6th. Remember Mike Pence. I will stop at nothing to get my way. And if you get in my way, I will stop at nothing to get my way.
So,
That's what I want to say about that, Bishop.
well, I mean, nothing else to really be said about that because we know what we see. If we believe our lying eyes, our eyes or his lying lips, because you can't believe nothing that Donald Trump says, nothing that he says, because we see what he is doing, how he's attacking, how he is destroying this country, how he is making enemies of our friends of this country, and purposely making enemies, and then turn around and the ones who were not our friends start partnering with them to support them and their efforts. When you say
It's
that
crazy.
Zelensky and Ukraine started the war, we know that Russia actually started the war. We know that it was
Called
televised.
him
It
a
was talked about
dictator.
it calls Zelensky
Called
a
him a
dictator.
dictator. Then
Yeah,
said that I didn't say that. And then brought the man to the White House today. And I don't know, we'll talk about that. One thing I did want to also remind people, not only they remember Pence, Bishop,
right.
but, C.Q. Brown, the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff and the highest ranking black to ever be over the United States Air Force. Now, I want to remind you that the Air Force has a very important job. Perhaps one of the most important jobs the Air Force has is that it travels, it is in charge of flight protection and travel for every major person in the federal government, including the President of the United States of America, Air Force One, Air Force Two, the First Ladies, the Cabinet Secretary, all of that. Okay. He appointed him to the job of the highest and general or the joint chiefs,
Chairman,
excuse me, the
Joint
chief of
Chief
staff
Staff.
of
Yeah,
the chief of staff of the United States Air Force.
right.
Trump appointed him to that, and then turned around when he gets in office and says he was a DEI hire. You hired him, and then Joe Biden said, "You know what, Mr. President? Trump, you were smart to hire this guy. He's good. I'm going to make him chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff." And then this racist, drunk loser from Fox News that they put over as Secretary of State. He shouldn't be secretary over the Boy Scouts of America or Scouting of America, let alone over the Department of Defense. Turns around and says that he was not qualified, or perhaps he was there because of his race. Now, we know that Archie Bunker esque Donald Trump, with his bull counter sensibilities, would not have put C.Q. Brown in that office because he was black. He put him in that office because he felt that he was one of the most qualified generals to be there.
Well, he put him there
And then
because
they come back.
he thought he was going to be his yes man. Well, let's tell it like it
Yeah,
is, Shannon. He thought he was going to be his yes man. Like he put a lot of people in there. He found out they were going to be his yes man. Bob, right? The yes man. I mean, a lot of them he put in there. But then when they found out that he wasn't right, they said, we can't deal with this. We can't do this. That's why he's saying that the people that I have now, I know that they're going to do what I'm saying. Like the young lady is the acting attorney general. She is helping Adams out because of what? Donald Trump has said, hey, listen, I need for you to get Adams and let's deal with him and don't let them criminalize him. Y'all going to
Pamela
say,
Bondi,
yeah, y'all go ahead and
she's
say,
not acting. She's confirmed.
okay,
She's
okay,
confirmed.
okay. Well, she's confirmed now, but the reality of it is, at that point she was not quite, but now she is. But the reality of it is that
Okay.
because he saw her. I guess that was a test case to see if she would do what he said do, and she did it with Adams in New York. He's a brother, but still, the reality of it, if you're wrong, you're just wrong. And what he did was wrong. Now they done did quick quote pro, but then what he doesn't realize.
Well, we're gonna differ. We're gonna differ. You and I are gonna differ on Adams a little bit. It's a lot.
Okay,
It's a lot in play with what's going on with Adams.
well,
But it's not. It ain't exactly what they're saying about Adams.
well, I'm gonna put it like this: well, you may say it's
And
different. We can
Cuomo,
differ, yeah.
and Cuomo, who they trying to put in there, is a crook for real, and that's why he's not governor anymore. So it's
Well,
so funny how these folks how they play the games they play.
well, let me just say this: here we see this man. This is the pun that they use. This is we will do this for you, but well, we're gonna do it under prejudice. So that means that you can't come back and we can come back and try you, right? So the reality of it is you're really not helping me. You're just getting what you want and getting me out of the way to help you to get what you want at this time. And we fall for the
That's
okey doke all
politics.
the time. That's right. We fall for the okey doke all the time. But the reality of it is, brothers and sisters, the only thing that I'm saying to you is tonight is that we have to open our eyes to see how Tim Scott was used, how O'Donnell was used, and so many others were used to help him to get into his position to help Elon Musk become the president of the United States, the unofficial president of the United States, because he bought the White House. He bought the White House. He bought Donald Trump, and he bought the White House. And he is dictating whatever is happening in that maggot party, because when he tweets and he tells them, this shows you how effective he is. He tweets and tells them that if you do this, I'm going to make sure I spend money to make sure you never come back in this office to be able to serve. So it's showing that he is the
Yep.
unofficial president of the United States. He has bought the White House. He has bought members of the maggot parties, and they are cowing down to whatever he say do. That's what he is doing. Donald Trump is a star. He's an actor, and all he's doing is acting out as he would be if he was on a TV series. That's really, but Elon Musk is a man. Steve Bannon and him at odds right now. Steve Bannon was a strategist. He was a strategist for Donald Trump, but he's at odds with
No, he's a
Elon Musk
strategist for
now.
MAGA.
Right.
Remember now, he's a strategist for MAGA. See,
Right.
Trump just uses people. That's what narcissists do, and sociopaths. They use people to get what they want. Then when they use you up, because they cannot have empathy for anybody and don't really care about what you've ever done for them, they throw you away and jump on, they leap to the next thing because they can never be without the next thing, right? Because they're always trying to advance themselves and they're always looking for the next opportunity. He doesn't need MAGA no more because he's got a guy with $400,000 million in his pocket. He got on Zelensky about what he wore today, and Zelensky had on fatigues. He had on his military, just like any other president that is at war that would come. Just like Fidel Castro wore his fatigues. Just like Yasser Arafat wore his fatigues. This man came to the White House today because he's at war and he wants to remind the country that he's at war. Well, they wanted him to dress up, put on a shirt and tie. No, I got on. You can't fight a war in a shirt and tie. I've lost 400,000 Ukrainian citizens. I've killed 700,000 Russians. I'm in the middle of a war while you're playing this game, and I don't have time to put on a shirt and tie. I'm putting on fatigues because we are at war.
Well, look with
And
that being
he
said,
said to him, he's not dressed, but he ain't said nothing about Elon Musk came to a cabinet meeting. with jeans
Boy,
on
you
and a
took
t-shirt.
you took
Didn't
the words
say
out of my
nothing
mouth.
about Elon Musk standing over him in the Oval Office with
Boy,
his
you took
son
the words
over
out
him
of my
who
mouth.
told the president he wasn't president, with a cap on. But he tried to do that with come on, man. Get better at it,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Come on.
and people have
Trump
to
got more game than the Olympics. He has more
they,
game than Parker Brothers.
let me tell you something. People, by the way, you took the words out of my mouth. You talked about how Elon Musk was dressed. I mean, and listen, and I'm gonna show you something else. Some people can say the maggot hat was a red hat, red with white letters. The one that Elon Musk wear is a
Black.
black hat. It's a black hat. People got to see because I'm in charge. I don't have to wear your brand. I can have that name on my hat, the color hat, because that's my brand. You know, people better wake up and see that Elon Musk is the president of the United States. Elon Musk has bought the White House. He's bought members of the maggot party, and people are cowing down to him in terms of what he wants done because they have been bought. They have been bought. They have been bought. And that's why they can't say nothing. They can't do it, even though they know a lot of the stuff is wrong. Now you're seeing a few of them that start stepping out and saying something because they're saying, "Hey, listen, what do I have to lose other than a seat?" I mean, if I can't, in all good conscience, do what's right about the American people, the country that I love, that I truly love, the country that has helped me to become who I am today, then why even be here and put up with the foolishness that they want me to do in terms of destroying this country that we all have loved and fought for. And so many veterans, they got to be feeling some kind of way, Shanan. They got to be feeling some kind of way that this man is the commander in chief and he takes order from Elon Musk. Whoa! I'm gonna leave it right there, Shannon. But I want to talk a little bit because we've been talking a little bit on this. I want to talk about this boycott. I want to talk about this boycott now, Shannon. The boycott that started on today, the 28th. We started off with that at our opening in terms of not spending money today. But where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Do we continue to not spend money at the major stores, the Target, the Amazon, the Best Buys, the Publix, those stores that the people have identified as stores? Do we still not use our credit card to purchase things? And people may not know that every time you use your debit card, there is a charge fee that charge for that. That's why they go up on the prices so that they'll be able to capture that money. So we got to really look at what we're going to do. What is the strategy? A group of us met the other day. Over 100 of us met from all organizations, from politicians, the preachers, to community leaders, community activists, to talk about what we're going to do. What are we going to do? The boycott starts today. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say, if you're listening to this program, or we're in this program, we are serious about this boycott. We're serious about this boycott. It just started today, but this boycott has got to continue. It has to continue. Well, people say, we got to play out the Montgomery bus boycott. But we have to understand that the Montgomery bus boycott was one thing. Then it went from Montgomery bus boycott to the next thing, which was the Civil Rights Act, and so on and so on and so forth. Those were acts, things that were planned out, strategized out to make the presidents and people of goodwill and good conscience to come together to look out for all people of every color, all people, all different religions and persuasions. Because at the end of the day, many of the people who are being laid off don't look like us. In the government, they don't look like us. Many of the people that are losing their home don't look like us. Many of the people that are losing a lot of things that they've enjoyed, they don't look like us. But this really is about us saving us. We have to save us because we have gone down this road before, and we must do what we need to do to protect our future for our young people. And I was happy last night to see at First Iconia, Reverend McDonald's church, with all the young people from the HBCU schools there, ready, willing to do what they needed to do, just like they were back in the 60s, to bring about a change.
The greatest lightning rod that we have for our movement and for organizing us as a people and advancing the advancing beyond where we are now, and capturing some of the advancements that we lost. Because every woman under the sound of my voice on this program tonight that's over the age of 35 years old, 30, 35 years old, your daughters don't have the rights that you have. And there's several other micro losses that we've had along the way. And you connect those micro losses, you'll see that we're losing, we're having macro losses of the advancements that we've had. The greatest organizer that we have had as a race in the last 50 years at least is Donald John Trump. If we don't organize, if we don't vote, if we don't come up with an agenda, if we don't move past this, then you and I might hear that years from now, the descendants, our descendants, were back on plantations. But they don't need them on plantations anymore because they got other things that they can do. They don't need you to work with. They got AI and computers and machines that are doing all kind of stuff. We are watching a major shift happen, and the rights of people in a democracy. You know, you looked over and said, "Oh, there's a coup over there." Zelensky said something today that the news has not really caught, and it triggered Trump, and it played to JD Vance, who just reminds me of the type of guy that's just always talking. You know, Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And, you know, everybody got words, and he just talking. Zelensky said today, Bishop, he said, it's our war now, and you don't feel it because you got this nice little body of water, ocean that's protecting you, but you will feel it. And that's what Dr. King meant. What hurts one, what affects one indirectly affects another directly. When he talked about this garment of mutuality, Zelensky said, what we're feeling over here, you will feel it in your country. And Trump, don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're not going to feel anything. We're going to feel strong. We're going to feel this. And Zelensky said, oh, okay, all right. If you really believe that, whoever would have thought that in America we would be watching an American coup d'etat happen right before our eyes? We are watching a coup d'etat. And they say, well, what? He's elected. It's not a coup d'etat. You have to overthrow a president. No, you overthrow democracy, and you change the tenor and the tenet of this nation. And now all the world is looking at America and saying, that's not a democracy anymore. Christiane Amanpour said tonight that presidents and prime ministers were shaking their head and are calling Zelensky and saying in writing, we're standing with Ukraine. From the superpower of the world, Bishop, to not a joke, but something that everyone is deeply suspicious of and watchful of us. Zelensky said, you will know what it feels like when the world turns their back on you, like they're turning their, like you have turned your back on us.
Well,
That's it. That's all I got.
there ain't nothing but straight talk. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have to do what we have to do. We know what we need to do. We need to believe in God, one, trusting God, trusting His word. But we know if we read the Bible, this has happened before with wicked kings and nations have come in and taken over kingdom. This is biblical here. When the children of Israel would not believe in God, and Jeremiah tried to prophesy to them and tell them, you need to repent, and they were taken captivity into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, brothers and sisters, the word of God is true. The word of God is true. So America is not exempt. We're not exempt from that when we have a wicked king, because wicked kings bring down nations, So be aware, understand what we're dealing with, and we will see you next week right here on Straight Talk with none other yours truly, Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and Shanan E. Jones. And listen, don't forget to check out our channel, subscribe to our channel, like it, make comments, and share. And if you want to be on, you want to have something you have to say, email Miss C at straighttalknews1362@gmail.com. But this ain't been nothing but what, Shannon? Straight Talk.
Talk.
Want to be a guest on Straight Talk? Email Greg Fann at FANN922@comcast.net or call 404-308-0795. Join us again for another episode of Straight Talk with Shanan Jones and Greg Fann, the Preacher Man.